Stoic warriors. We live in a world where men scramble to prove their worth. They fight to be right, to be valued, to be seen. They explain, over-explain, even beg for recognition. But a true Stoic stands apart. He doesn't chase attention. He doesn't crave validation. A Stoic doesn't justify himself to the world, for he knows silence is his strength. Most men, when hurt, rejected, or misunderstood, rush to fix it with words, explaining to those who've already chosen not to listen. That's weakness masquerading as courage. Picture a man calling someone who ignores him. He texts again, pours his heart into a long message, hoping they'll see his worth. But each word he sends strips away his power. A Stoic, like Marcus Aurelius, knows better. He wields silence as a shield, letting his absence speak louder than any plea. It's not that Stoics don't care, they care deeply, but they understand chasing what's beyond their control only tightens the chains. Epictetus taught us when you beg for attention or understanding, you hand your peace to another. That's not freedom, it's a cage. True strength is walking away from disrespect without a word, not out of pride, but because your dignity doesn't need to shout, chase, or explain. It quietly withdraws. This silence isn't empty, it's discipline, self-respect, an inner strength that says, I don't need your validation to know my worth. And that unnerves others. For when you don't react, they lose the control they thought they had. Today, let's explore the power of silence, not weakness, but a force that makes others question what's changed. Imagine a man who steps back, letting his absence roar louder than any argument. We'll uncover 6 profound truths, 6 reasons why silence is a Stoic's superpower, why he never chases, begs, or explains. If you're tired of giving too much, if you've been misunderstood, if you've chased those who walked away, this is your moment to shift. Let this message remind you of the strength you didn't know you needed. Before we dive into the first truth, please like this video if it resonates with you. Share your thoughts and affirmations in the comments as we journey forward. Pass this video to someone who needs to hear it and subscribe for more Stoic wisdom. Most importantly, don't skip any part. One idea, one truth, could change how you live forever. Leave this affirmation in the comments. Silence is my strength. First, silence makes them feel your absence, not just hear your words. Think of a time you stopped explaining, stopped chasing. Suddenly, they noticed. That's the paradox of silence. It doesn't push away, it pulls them in. Recall a moment you were hurt, and your silence spoke what words never could. Maybe someone disrespected you, ignored you, or dismissed you. Your instinct screamed to speak, to defend your worth. But the truth is, the more you say, the less they hear. The more you chase, the further they run. The more you explain, the less they value your words. But when you hold your tongue, they feel your absence more than your presence ever did. Those who can't grasp your silence likely never understood your words. Elbert Hubbard said it well. Stoics knew this. Centuries ago, silence unsettles in a way noise never can. When you stay quiet before those expecting you to beg, when you withdraw instead of react, you force them to face something deeper, their own actions. Silence is a mirror, reflecting truth. Imagine a man wronged, yet he stands tall, saying nothing. His quiet says, "I see your actions. I feel your disrespect. But I value myself too much to plead for your understanding." This isn't ego, it's clarity. If they cared, they'd ask. If they respected you, they'd reach out. If they were mature, they wouldn't need a speech to see your worth. So you stay silent. In that silence, you reclaim the power you once gave away. You stop wasting energy on those who don't even understand themselves. You stop trying to heal through words. For some wounds, only mend in quiet. Yes, it stings, because your silence provokes them, leaves them confused. They'll wonder, why isn't he reacting? Why doesn't he respond? Has he stopped caring? That's when the power shifts. For silence speaks a truth. They can't deny you owe them no explanation. Not anymore. Second, silence lets you hear the truth clearer. The world is loud, but silence lets you listen not to others, but to yourself. In moments of betrayal or pain, most men seek answers from others, friends, social media, or the one who hurt them, hoping words will soothe the wound. But a Stoic chooses a different path. Picture him sitting alone, not to sulk, but to reflect. He knows the answers don't lie in noise, but in the quiet where truth whispers its lessons. He's silent, not because he feels no pain, but because he knows real answers come from reflection, not reaction. Marcus Aurelius said, "If you're hurt by something external, the pain comes from your judgment of it, and you can change that judgment anytime. When you embrace silence, your mind gets. In that stillness, truth emerges. You hear things like, 'They never truly respected me. I just didn't want to see it. I'm not angry they left. I'm angry I stayed too long. I don't need closure. I need peace.' These truths don't come from texts or talks. They come in quiet moments when you stop explaining and start listening. Silence creates space to separate your emotions from your worth. When hurt, your feelings scream to chase, to explain, to prove yourself. But in silence, a wiser voice speaks. Hold your dignity. Guard your peace. Let go. That's why Stoics don't rush to react or decide in anger. They pause, embracing a sacred stillness before the storm. Society tells you to speak your mind, vent your feelings, never let anyone disrespect you. But Stoics know respect isn't won by shouting louder, it's earned by staying calm when others lose control. The more silent you are, the more others reveal their true selves. You don't need to ask if they care, their actions answer. You don't need to beg for clarity, the truth shines in your silence. Most importantly, you stop reacting from emotion and start responding with will. Silence isn't passive, it's focused, intentional, a gateway to inner wisdom. Few dare to cross. When you're overwhelmed, emotions clouded, don't act rashly. Be still. The answers aren't out there, they're within you, and you'll hear them in silence. Third, begging for closure betrays your own strength. Let's face what many avoid: chasing closure often brings more pain than peace. Every man craves it. We long for that final talk, the honest exchange, the perfect ending. But here's the hard truth: if someone truly valued you, you wouldn't need to beg for closure. A Stoic knows this. He doesn't chase explanations from those who've walked away. He lets his silence be the ending, a quiet stand for his worth. Epictetus said, "Don't explain your philosophy. Live it." This hits deep when you stop chasing closure and start living your values. You don't need others to validate your pain. The hurt is real. But begging them to explain why they wronged you hands them the key to your healing. Here's the cycle. 1. They hurt you. 2. You demand answers. 3. They respond with coldness or evasion. 4. You feel worse. And the loop repeats until you realize closure isn't something they give. It's what you grant yourself when you stay silent and walk away. It's tempting to think, if I just share my heart, if I explain my side, one last talk will fix it. But you're pleading with someone at peace with your pain. You're reasoning with someone who's already chosen. A Stoic man stops chasing their approval and starts honoring his own strength by stepping back in silence. Stoics know emotions can cloud judgment, especially when ego creeps in. You want to be seen as good, understood, for them to finally get you. But chasing that betrays your growth. True closure is accepting they gave all they could. You accept no explanation will make them respect, love, or be honest. You stop waiting for a conversation that won't come. In that acceptance, your power returns. Those who hurt you don't need to see your worth, you do. Those who left don't need a goodbye, you can say it without words. Those who vanish don't deserve another chance. Your silence is your answer. Don't draft unsent letters or rehearse perfect texts. Don't chase closure from those closed off from the start. Picture a man who chooses silence, letting it restore his dignity, like a warrior reclaiming his ground without a fight. 4th, silence exposes what words hide. When you stay quiet, something powerful happens. Masks fall. Words can be beautiful but deceptive. People say what sounds right, what they think you want, offering excuses, justifications, apologies. But silence cannot lie. Ralph Waldo Emerson said, "What you do speaks so loudly, I cannot hear what you say." Stoics grasped this truth. They judge not by apologies but by patterns of behavior. The best way to see someone's habits is to stop talking and watch. Silence isn't passive, it's observation. When you stop explaining yourself, you create space for others to reveal who they truly are. Trust me, they will. Those who respect you will feel your presence and approach with sincerity. Those who used you will fade away, for they never valued you. Those who manipulated you will grow angry or confused, not because you're wrong, but because they've lost their grip on you. Imagine a man who steps back, refusing to play their game. His silence unveils their truth. Some will reach out with respect, others will vanish, and manipulators will falter, exposed by the quiet they can't control. Notice who checks on you when you're silent. See who disappears when you stop giving. Recognize who gets upset when they can't provoke you. That's the truth. Sometimes harsh but necessary. Silence can hurt more than 1,000 arguments, because they can ignore your words, but not your absence. They can argue with your point, but not with your silence. When you stay quiet, you stop fueling their illusions. You quit their emotional games. You stop pretending their words outweigh their actions. This silence brings you clarity. You no longer need their explanations for their poor treatment, because their actions and your distance say it all. You start trusting patterns over promises, energy over excuses, what's real over what's said. This is the Stoic way, not cold, but clear, not distant, but awake, not heartless, but disciplined. Picture a man who faces empty promises with silence, letting their actions speak, revealing truths he no longer needs to question. The next time someone tries to talk their way back into your life, don't rush to respond. Observe, stay silent, and let the truth speak without words. Fifth, refusing to explain is the ultimate act of confidence. When someone misunderstands you, it cuts deep. You want to defend yourself, to clarify who you are. But a Stoic doesn't chase others' understanding. He seeks it within himself. Why? Because explaining to those with fixed judgments isn't confidence, it's fear of being misjudged. Marcus Aurelius said, "Don't waste your time guessing what others think unless it serves a greater good." Reflect on this every time you try to prove your worth or loyalty to someone. You're spending precious energy on their opinion. That's not strength, it's insecurity. A Stoic stands firm, like a mountain unmoved by storms. His purpose is clear, his actions consistent, his value unspoken, yet undeniable to those who truly see. Letting go isn't easy. You'll be called cold, selfish, or distant. You may lose people once close, but losing those who never truly saw you isn't loss, it's alignment. The truth is, most don't want to understand you. They want to control how you're perceived. If your silence shatters their illusions, they'll get angry not because you hurt them, but because you stopped playing their game. When you stop explaining, you lead with energy. You stop justifying your distance, defending your peace. You simply act. Those meant for your life will understand your silence without words. This rare energy unsettles people. It frustrates manipulators. It drives users away. But those who stay respect you deeply, for they know you won't diminish your worth to fit their misconceptions. This is the Stoics' silence calm. Unshaken, profound. Picture a man who stands like an oak, rooted in his truth. He owes no one an explanation for choosing peace. His boundaries need no defense. His worth, no proclamation. For his silence speaks louder than any room's clamor. Sixth, silent detachment teaches a lesson words cannot. There's unique power in a man who walks away, not in anger or drama, but in quiet release. You don't slam doors or send emotional messages. You simply leave. And in that silence, you deliver a lesson beyond words. Seneca said, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." This reminds us that pain grows when we replay it in our minds. When you stop responding, they're left with their thoughts, their guilt, the echo of how you treated them, and the weight of your absence. Your detachment declares, "I no longer need to prove myself to you." Imagine a man who walks away from disrespect, not with a shout, but with quiet resolve. He knows peace is worth more than any relationship, and his silence teaches others the cost of taking him for granted. Most people can't handle this energy. They expect you to react, beg, fight for closure, or crumble to be heard. But when you stay silent, you stop playing their emotional game. You walk away with dignity, forcing them to face themselves. They expect you to chase, to fight, to return. They don't think you'll truly leave. That's when the lesson begins. People don't learn from your words. They learn from your distance. They don't change when you demand respect. They change, if ever, when your absence shows what they've lost. Even if they don't change, that's fine. The lesson is for you. Picture a man who learns through silence that peace doesn't need permission. He sees not everyone deserves his explanation. He knows silence isn't just strength, it's healing, a quiet reclaiming of his soul from chaos. When you detach in silence, you break free from toxic cycles. You stop bleeding for those who can't feel your pain. You stop explaining storms to those safe in their homes. Detachment doesn't mean you don't care. It means you care enough for your soul to not leave it in places it's ignored. That's why Stoics don't rush to react or chase justice. They don't seek validation. They let silence speak for them. You don't need to shout, "I'm done." You just end it. That's true strength, the kind of silence that terrifies those who thought they controlled you. You're awakening to a quiet truth, one you've always known but may have lost in time. You don't need to chase, beg, or explain to be worthy. You don't need to be loud to be heard. You don't need to prove yourself to be understood. You don't need to shatter your peace to make others comfortable. This is the heart of Stoicism, not coldness, but clarity. Picture a man who rises above chaos, not by withdrawing from love, but by rejecting turmoil. Stoics teach us a profound lesson. Silence isn't weakness, it's mastery. A refusal to waste energy on what's beneath you. There will be moments when emotions urge you to explain, fight, or prove yourself. In those times, remember this: your silence may not win arguments, but it wins you back. Each time you choose not to react, you build inner peace. Every time you walk away quietly, you forge your worth. Imagine a man who, with each silent step, builds a fortress of dignity no one can breach. Every time you hold your ground, you craft a strength untouchable by others, a legacy of self-respect. Thank you for watching. If this touched your soul, hit like now. Share it with someone ready to grow. Leave your affirmations below. Your voice matters here. Subscribe for more Stoic truths each week. Let this be your final affirmation in the comments. My silence is my final, most powerful word.